Welcome to the Mermaid Tavern. Cheers. Salute. Yakida. Skål. Slodjava. Bottoms up. Well, I've got me pint and I've got me pie. All you need if you're from the north is a pie and a pint. So yeah, welcome to Flaming Pie and a Pint. Yeah, it's good, eh? And I've been listening to this album. This is the archive edition I bought. Only bought it last year, funny enough, at the Liverpool Beatles convention. When did it come out? I think it came out it came out during lockdown, didn't it? And back then, 2020, I think it came out. I did buy it, I think, not when it came out, but not long. Well, about a year or two afterwards. I never really rated this album, perhaps I never really listened to this album until now, and I've completely reevaluated it. And take those off because I've been listening to listening to this out in headphones. But yeah, nice double album. Always lovely to be listening to records again. I know I keep going on about it since I got a new turntable last year, and I've been, it's just fun listening to it. So I thought, just go through the tracks of it. 14 tracks. Paul is producing everything, I think. He's got like co-producers, mainly Jeff Lynne. And this was just after Anthology, this album came out. And so a lot of people say that it was him being quite introspective about the Beatles stuff in the past. But the ghost of the Beatles, and particularly John, has always been over Paul in some way, hasn't it? Particularly, maybe not as much in the 70s. For a while he moved away from it all, but I think, yeah, since John was murdered, definitely. I don't think, that was a bad thing. I think he misses his old pal, and who can blame him? George Martin. The last time that he worked with George Martin, bless him, because George passed away. When was it? About, memory serves, about 2016, I think. But the last time they worked together, I think, was on this album, 1997, and he's on three tracks, I think, as two as producer and one as the arranger, the orchestrations, and that's Beautiful Night. But I'll talk about this at the end. There's an album I've got it on at the moment. I'm going to listen to that in a minute. I've just been listening to the main double album, and there's an album of demos as well. This is the little Obi strip that came with it. Yeah, so it's three altogether. Yeah. So what we got? We've got the album is kicked off with the song we are singing, and we've got this lovely booklet, a flaming booklet. Where's the flaming booklet? Here it is. Sorry, I'll stop all that in a minute. Be serious. The song we were singing. Actual fact, this is the first of the best on here. It really is, and a nod to the past in many ways. With talk about the past and the '60s, and he's also playing the stand-up bass, which was once used by Bill Black, one of Elvis's combo in the early days at Sun Records, and was used on all the hits like Heartbreak Hotel, and apparently a nice story that Linda bought this as a gift for Paul for his birthday back in 1974. And then you've got World Tonight, which I think that was a single, wasn't it? I definitely remember that being a single. I think I might have even bought it as a single. It's got nice sort of country overtones to it. That's this little booklet's lovely too. It's got all the lyrics in it. The original album had, whereas these have just got these black inners for the albums on the Flaming record label. Flaming. Stop it. Had the lyrics on the inners, whereas this has got this lovely little book. I don't think this little book came with the original one, but it's gorgeous. I love it. Really love it. Actually, it's really nice, like a little program, isn't it? You're looking through a program in a concert. Reminds me of that I Need Glasses. And then you've got side one comes to an end with the track If You Wanna, which is a really good solid song. So the first three songs, when I probably heard them originally, they would have just passed me by. Thing with Paul, we've always been judging him, haven't we? We've been saying, "Whoa, when's he going to write another? When's he going to write another Eleanor Rigby? When's he going to write another, great song? Oh no, that won't do." We're always judging him, aren't we? But, it's anyway. But yeah, those three songs are pretty neat. So side two kicks off with "Some Days," which is a really sweet little number. This one, "Some Days," really gorgeous little song. Actually, Paul is good at writing the ballads, isn't he? That's his forte. He always has been, writing these little sweet ballads. And this is a lovely song. Sad and quite mournful, very plaintive, song. It's no good asking. It's no good asking me what time of day it is. Someday, it's a lovely, lovely song. That very memorable. The first of the real memorable ones that I come away humming from this album. And then we got Young Boy. So all these tracks were recorded at Paul's studio in Sussex. That's the Hog Mill studio, isn't it? That was called. That's where that sort of featured quite heavily in Anthology, didn't it? That's where they were largely. But this one here, Young Boy, was recorded out with Steve Miller out in Idaho, USA, and he'd recorded with this song "Dark Hour." Do you know it? Steve Miller Band. Way back in '69, he'd actually recorded under the name Paul Ramon. He had a few aliases, didn't he? I remember, liked his aliases. But this is Ramon, or is it Paul Ramon? Where I got the word Paul, or maybe it's just Ramon. Anyway, so this is a good song. Nice sort of melodic piece. Quite a nice little chorus in it. Yeah, oh yeah, the last album, was it the last one? He says he was waiting for Linda. I forgot to mention that. With Some Days, he said he was just wrote that song while he was waiting. He took Linda to a cookery program or something. He drove her there, and kind of wrote it while he was waiting for her. That's the previous one, Some Days. And then he says he was kind of on the clock with this one again. About wrote it in the time it took Linda to cook a lunch for a feature in the New York Times. See, he's still the sort of wordsmith, isn't he? He's still the craftsman. He is. So that's Young Boy, and then we've got Calico Skies. Lovely. This really lovely acoustic piece. One of those lovely songs, really reminiscent of the White Album. Blackbird, wouldn't have looked out of place. Wouldn't have sounded, I should say, out of place on the White Album. This song, Calico Skies, really gorgeous, in fact. And then we got the song actually called Flaming Pie, which is next, which ends side two, doesn't it? Which is quite a sort of nice, quite light. I listened to it a few times. It's really, and I liked it better the third or fourth hearing. Than I did initially. But yeah, quite a sort of heavy sort of rhythm. Nice piece, yeah. Flaming Pie, yeah. Then side three starts with Heaven on a Sunday. Yeah, kind of real Sunday mellow song. Lovely lyrics. Yeah, Paul says that he's that's right. He says here that his son James, 19 years of age at the time. This was 1997 when this came out. Makes his first guitar appearance on this. He says he played the acoustic stuff and left the young Turk to play the hot electric stuff. Good old James. Yeah. Father like son. That's wow. Bless him. He's got not just a hill to climb. It's a veritable series of mountains, isn't it? And probably unclimbable, actually. Then we got the song "Used to Be Bad." What do I put about "Used to Be Bad"? Again, Steve features Steve Miller. Good, solid piece of R&B. Then we've got ending side 3. We've got the song called "Souvenir." Souvenir. Everybody's got a handful of fear, but tomorrow it may only be a souvenir. Nice. And again, it's quite R&B. Nice, really. I think he said did he base it on he said he based it on a Wilson Pickett sort of number. Yeah, I can see that. So that's, we come up to side 4, and we come up to Little Willow, which is a lovely little lyrics. Sweet, sad song. I'm glad, actually, when I first heard this again, after not hearing it for a long time, that I didn't know the story behind it, that it was written for the death of a friend, and the friend in question was Maureen Starkey, or Maureen Starkey Tigret. After she got divorced from Ringo, she married Isaac Tigret. He was one of the co-founders of the Hard Rock Cafe, which was the very first in the world, 1971 in London, wasn't it? Yes, it's my old tour guiding experience there. And Mo, I think he was always friendly with Mo. He looked upon her as a sort of link to the old days. And remember, he says at the end of the rooftop concert, the last thing Paul says is, "Thanks, Mo." That's her. That's Maureen. Bless her. Only 48. She was only 48 when she died. I can't remember what awful cancer it was that took her. Bless her. Anyway, but yeah, lovely little song, Little Willow. About her, tribute to Maureen. It doesn't mention that in here. It does actually. It does say that it was written on the death of a friend. I wanted to somehow convey how much I thought of her, for her and her kids. It certainly is heartfelt, and hope it will help a bit. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? That's really lovely. Makes me cry. I need a drink. Where are we up to now? After Little Willow, I really love you. Really love you. Kind of foot tapping, kind of jam. Features Ringo. I think this was recorded after the next track, which I'm going to talk about. Always good to see Ringo back, and apparently they got on so well during the beautiful night that they reconvened to have a bit of a jam session. And the following day, it was quite an impromptu jam. And I think it's the only song that's credited to McCartney Starkey. McStarkey. McStarkney. Starkey McCartney. No, McCartney Starkey. But yeah, good little foot tapping jam. That's what it was. And then we get to Beautiful Night. Lovely song. I had this conversation with you, Mark, don't I? We were saying what was Paul's last really top notch, as in, shouldn't be doing it. I know, shouldn't be doing it. Anybody else, we wouldn't. It's because McCartney's like this God, isn't he? And you judge him on wonderful songs that he wrote, But Beautiful Night. Perhaps, though, Paul, Mark, you say No More Lonely Nights, but I say Beautiful Night. I love it. I love it. I love this song. Some boats on the ocean, we're here in this room, seem to me the perfect way to spend an afternoon. We can look for castles, pretty castles in the sky. No more wondering why. Sorry, do you know what? I said I wouldn't sing in this. I said I wouldn't sing in this. I don't sing anymore. I didn't know. Did you know? You probably did, because you're probably more clued up on Paul than I am, that he'd actually first recorded this song 10 years before. He actually says that here. But for this Return to Pepperland project that he had, and this was all kind of new to me. If I knew about it, I've been having a look at that, and you can watch it, you can listen to it all on YouTube, all this 1986, Return to Pepperland, which apparently was fueled. Was it 87? Because I think it was fueled by the 20th anniversary of Sergeant Pepper coming up, which was, remember all that 20 years ago, 1987. Doesn't that seem so long ago now? That's almost 40 years ago. That is one of those kind of mad things if you're my age, when you think how it seems like 2 minutes ago that we were 20 years ago today. That's all the stuff about the Sergeant Pepper anniversary, and then now that's next year, 40, as in 60 years ago next year. That's actually quite mad, isn't it? That's actually quite disturbing. Anyway, I have another drink to think about that one. Um, but yeah, he recorded the song all that earlier, and you can listen to it, to the differences in it. It's quite nice. The old one. His voice is kind of its time, 80s production. The voice is back in the mix. It's not as upfront as it is in the Flaming Pie one, which is much better. Though it's got some nice touches. I don't think George Martin orchestrated that one, and George Martin did orchestrate the Flaming Pie version, which is very good, of course. And I think it's back in Abbey Road they did that. And it's yeah, his voice sounds quite echoey in the 80s one. It's that sort of production way that I think they did back then. Same tempo, really. But yeah, Paul's voice is definitely better in the newer version. It hasn't got all that sort of beautiful night, beautiful night, beautiful night. It hasn't got all that stuff, which I don't mind, but I could leave it out. It's like a sort of 12-inch single, isn't it? You remember some 12-inch singles of really cool songs that you bought on 12-inch, which had 12-inch mixes. Not all of them did, of course, but had unnecessary padding. And it does seem a little bit of a necessary padding, all that beautiful night, beautiful night. But on the original song, it's got a really nice sort of bluesy piano fade out, which I like, actually. Slightly better, if I'm honest about it. Yeah. Though, yeah, overall, the album, the Flaming Pie album version of it, A Beautiful Night, wins out. And I think that was a single, but what a fabulous song. Quality, Paul, that. I haven't even got to the end. I've missed out a track, haven't I? I haven't even got to Great Day, which again was produced by George, or co-produced. And there's an old song, again, apparently a song he revived from 25 years before that him and Linda used to sort of play to. And talking of Linda, bless her, this was the last album that you hear her on, and you hear her on this. You hear her doing the harmonies on this. Yeah, she was to pass away. Linda was just a year later, 1998, and she was only 52. Breast cancer, wasn't it? Bless her, Linda. Bless you. And yeah, it's the last appearance, so it's like an end of an era album in many ways. This for Paul. The track itself is really a good old song, really, and yeah, as I say, nicest thing about it is you hear Linda. You can hear her on the harmonies, and I think she's in quite a few in others in this as well. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to listen to the. I'm just going to have a quick listen to the demos. I'll come back to you. There we go. So that's the demos. Listen to. Well, interesting that. Really, it's quite a treat, actually, isn't it? It's quite a little treat to have the demos with it. It's quite nice. It's a little idea putting the demos with it, and really enjoyed it. I got a little note here about which ones. His voice sounded quite sort of like a kid in it. It's quite interesting, actually. At one point, I thought I got the wrong speed on or something. Interesting. His voice it's quite endearing, actually. It's like that. It sounds like a child when in the demos. It's really sweet, actually. I mean that in a nice way, in the nicest way possible, actually. And some of these demos you really get a completely different idea of from listening to them. The home demo, they're obviously home demos. On one of them, I think it's Souvenir, is it? You can hear a phone ringing in the background. The last one, Great Day, you can hear voices in the background, in the house, and so yeah, some of these have made me look at the actual finished recording in a new light. I think the one that stood out for me was the song "Flaming Pie," actually, and also "Young Boy." Both of them I preferred as demos, little songs. "Beautiful Night" was a bit disappointing because you wanted to hear it a bit more rawer, but it was obviously more finished. Again, it's got that bluesy ending to it, which on here, which you had on the Return to Pepperland, which wasn't on the when they put the more kind of funkier Beautiful Night, on the new one. But yeah, overall, it's actually a delight to have these. I was just getting over the adjusting to the hearing Paul's voice sound. So, God, this album's almost 30 years old now, isn't it? But yeah, overall, I'd say this album is absolutely a McCartney classic. I really would. I'm going to put the albums away now. They're really lovely, heavyweight vinyl albums. This is Half Speed Masters, isn't it? It's the first Half Speed I've ever had, I think. I'm not really audio. But yeah, honestly, this is a lovely, lovely set. And if you haven't got it, go and treat yourself to it. What have I done with the OB? Mustn't lose the OB strip. Mustn't lose the OB strip. They're a nuisance, aren't they, OB strips? Why can't they just sort of be a bit more practical? There it is, Flaming Pie. Well, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for making time listening to me reevaluate, revisit this album, and hope. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you've listened to it recently. Let me know if it's your favourite. Will I see you again? Will we see them again, Paul, do you think? Hope so. Bless you.